Hey, good morning, guys. This is UC from iTradePrice, July 24th, Sunday morning around 9 Eastern. Let us get started with our weekly video. Okay, QQQ, right? So this is a monthly view. We still have about 3 to 4 days of next week to close the monthly bar, but it's always kind of good to just have a preview of what's happening. So far an inside monthly bar, right? Just a bullish bar by itself. Still have to get above 315 to sort of take out the previous month's high, right? So far so good, that's fine, but I think there's a nice story developing here in the weekly view. So we're comfortably above 296.6 resistance, right? That was the resistance level for quite a few weeks right here, right? And once we got above that, it's nice, but we couldn't get all the way till 315 where the next structure high is. So bulls really pushed towards the high last week, but really couldn't get a close because of Friday's sell-off, right? We have this top wick, and similarly bears have a little bit of bottom wick. So neutral to bullish bar, so not bad. Still bulls have an upper hand as long as they're above 297 here in the weekly view. If we look at the daily view, we are moving up in this channel, right? No bearish trend bar sees any downside follow through, so that remains an opportunity for bulls to step back in and keep pushing prices higher. We are having these higher lows so far. On Friday we did try to kind of reverse that trend, but not a big reversal where you'd be worried about that yes, bears are taking control of anything like that. Yes, if you see multiple days through and losing this 296.6 support, which was resistance previously, right? So that should act as at least on the first touch with some sort of a bounce, right? So we'll see how that plays out, but so far so good for bulls. And usually if you have a structure like that, a bullish week with the backing of a bullish month, I think we should at least attempt to break above previous week's high and try to kind of see if we can get a match the high of this structure here. We have all this clutter zone that could be the resistance point, but it can definitely kind of move towards that level on a push higher as long as it holds on a higher time frame, 296.6. Definitely if you drill down into hourly view, it can give you better clues as to your entry levels, as to what's going on and all that stuff. So if I bring in those levels, here they are. Let's go into maybe a 15-minute view. So yeah, looks okay. We're at the channel low. We did manage to bounce from the channel low on Friday, but not a significant bounce. Given it was Friday evening or Friday afternoon, usually it just kind of closes some sort of short covering into the close a little bit. So now to really get going on Monday, we really need to get above 303.7, 304, and see if we get a follow through above 306, and then finally take out the high of Friday. On the downside, 296.1 can be the first touch bounce, but if we really break down 296, then I think we can go all the way down towards 291 to 289. That's where the gap fill area is. So we'll see, again, 1 day at a time, 1 hour at a time to play this name. Okay, SPX. Let's take a look at the monthly view. Similar to QQQ as well, right? We have an inside bullish bar. Still have a long way to go, all the way up to 4180, which is the previous month's high. But nonetheless, nice bounce from this support zone right here around 3640, right? So let's get into a weekly view to get a little bit of breakdown. So it's attempting to get above this downward channel, this descending wedge pattern, right? So what happened in the weekly was that we touched this level multiple times and bounced from there, something like this. It was also forming, you could say, a bear flag, but we did not see any downside follow through. In fact, we kind of broke towards the high end. Now let's see, not a super bullish bar from from bullish perspective, but still okay in this bear market, right? So now let's see if we kind of develop some price action above that, because the next major resistance is not until 41.80. So if we get some good earnings and some short covering, that can definitely push the prices towards that. But if we see any weakness after earnings, things like that, then this could be a breakout failure trade where, we broke out of this range, right? We closed above, and if we break down, we get a next weekly bar, which is a red bar, and the close towards the low end of the structure, then definitely we can go down further and, continue our journey to the downside. So that would be good for bears. Apple weekly view. Let's get a quick monthly view as well. So on a monthly basis, relatively strong, right? Because we are over and above previous month's high with a higher low in a monthly view. So good reversal so far, and maybe the back test of this broken uptrend line is in play, and usually I think that comes with the push of the next monthly bar. I mean, of course, earnings are coming. We can see it can definitely do that, but from technical perspective, usually what happens is if we get a close in Apple like that, then you look for the next monthly bar to open. It goes down, and then you place your buy order, buy stop order above this, so that in case it comes back up, it takes you with it, right? That's usually a setup as well. So we'll see what that does. But on a weekly structure, good 4 to 5 week run, higher lows, right? And higher highs. So nothing bearish here. And even the bearish week we saw a few weeks ago had a bottom wick. So good strength. We have been playing long this name in our platform, so that is good. And now we stopped right at 156.8 resistance, the weekly resistance, which was some support before it broke down from this uptrend line right here. So that has to be taken out for bulls to further see any upside. With earnings coming up, that can be the catalyst, right? 146.7 is the level to hold on a larger time frame for bulls, because that has multiple touch points. It was resistance, then it became support. So in the short term view here, 146.7 needs to be held. So if we get a dip there after earnings and then back up, that can be a good sign for bulls that the price is maintaining its structure and wants to keep pushing higher. Amazon, again, monthly bar still has few days to complete, so it can, with the market going up, this can definitely push towards 129, which is the previous month's high, right? In a weekly structure, we are above its weekly resistance around 118, 119, right? That was the high for the previous few weeks. We are comfortably above that, right? And now let's see if we get a little bit of move down on Monday and then back up above to kind of try to push it towards 129, right? That would be the next upside target, because that has been the latest swing high in a weekly time frame. Back below under 118 is weakness, and then definitely previous week's low. If it takes that out, then we can see a move towards the downside, which is this channel right here. Okay. Tesla, everyone's favorite name to trade. Let us go through a monthly view. Earnings were, at least earnings reaction was good, right? So that's nice. We are above previous month's high, so we're trying to reverse here with a higher low in the weekly on a monthly time frame. We have this structure. I mean, if you look, this was all this support zone, right? But when we broke down, so now we're really not seeing any bearish follow through on a monthly basis here. This was sort of the previous month was an inside month, and now we're trying to get back above that. So this area can be the resistance, 845, and then let's go into the weekly view to see some better view. So 846 is the level, right? That's where we saw the breakdown from. So it kind of tested that one previous week after getting above this I would say triangle pattern, right? So that's a nice sign. We do have a little bit of top wick, but nothing too concerning, you know, just given the market kind of sold off on Friday, so not bad. Okay, so really need to get above 850 psychological number to kind of try to target 956. That's the, you know, that's the structure where we had support right here, and then once it broke down, that became resistance. So that can be a good number to target on the upside if we see a great nice follow through to the upside, which Tesla can do. It has that capability. But if we see a breakdown back under 764, that would be a sign of weakness and not good for bulls. On a daily view, we have this gap as well below 764 that needs that is still open, right? An earnings gap. But so far nothing too concerning. It kind of held the earnings day high on a closing basis. So if we see back above, let's dig into, let's say, bring in the levels. So right there, yeah, back above 823, 834 is a sign of strength, right? That it's not seeing any downside follow through after the Friday weakness. I'll attempt probably a 799 bounce as well if we see a price get there. That could be a back test of this channel trend line and just a horizontal support as well. So just something to kind of keep in mind. NVDA weekly view. So the big thing that pops out is that this bearish breakdown did not see any downside follow through. In fact, it's just price has been kind of finding support, and now it is back up, kind of close right at where it broke down from this bearish bars high. So it couldn't really clear that or close above that. Not bad, but it gave a nice run to the upside, right, from that 160 breakout. And it was really nice because in the daily view as well, you could see the strength all the way through. You know, bullish trend bars. Bearish days don't see any downside follow through like this one, right? So this one is another one. We'll see if Monday gets bought back up. So this would be the support that I'll be looking for it to stay strong above, kind of like this one right here, right? Because it has multiple touch point. It was a resistance, it's now a support as well. So if it gives up that, yeah, you know, 170 level, 171, that is weakness. And then in the lower time frame, you can see how it's behaving to kind of move back up towards 181 resistance line, right? This inverse head and shoulder can also be in play if we break down from here and consolidate around this 160, which is still above this structure, right? And then it wants to take out 181. So day by day we'll evaluate this, but so far looks nice, and it can try to break above 181 as well, as long as it holds this 170 to 171 support on a daily level. Okay, here's the chart of SQ. We did play this name on the call side, again long side, as it broke above this triangle. Previous week was an inside week right here, right? And then it made a move down, but it opened up above the channel, made the move down, filled the downside gap, and then moved back up. So, but it couldn't close above 72, which was the resistance of the structure, but still okay. In a daily view, it gave us a nice trade above this triangle channel breakout right here, right? So that was a nice trade. Then it eventually gave us a follow through to the upside as well as the break of 72 happened, and it kind of stalled right where we expected, a rest above 76, because that's it has multiple touch points, resistance here, so that can be a number to watch on the upside. If it can take that out, that means it still has legs. And on the downside, I would look for this support to hold just below 70 for a bounce, right? Because that was resistance, and once we broke out above that, it is now a support, at least for the first touch, right? Below that, we can target the back test of this trend line, right? But so far it's okay. This is the second daily bearish bar in few weeks. So we'll see if that does not see any follow through and gets bought back up. That'd be a sign of some continued strength in this name. Okay, let's take a look at Meta. It was strong. I did personally try some short right here, did not work as it broke out above this downtrend line here in the daily view. You can see This was a channel, and we had multiple touch points on this trend line. So, but with the market being strong, it did stop me out. But you can see it did break down below that one as well. So it didn't really see any follow through to the upside once it broke above this channel or this downtrend line. So on the downside, I'll be looking for this level here. Let's see which one is that. Let me bring on the level just to kind of give a better view. So, and on a, there you go. So we gap down, right, because of the snap earnings. We'll see if it sees any failure of this downside move, and if it can get back above 173.4, which was still the downtrend line. So it would be a fourth time it will be getting back above that. So that can be a good breakout play and kind of gap fill move, right? I would like to see it hold 165 on a downside move to stay somewhat cautiously bullish, right? But if it breaks down below that 165, you know, we have more weakness to come in this name. Okay, Google, right? This is a weekly view of Google. Let's take a look at monthly view as well. So far, weak name, right? I mean, at least technically speaking, no bullish bar in a monthly view, no bullish trend bar, still top wicks, and price was getting tight. So it still feels heavy, still feels, and you know, with the long top wick towards the close of the month, we still have 4 days, but not looking promising. Definitely a play can be where the next monthly bar opens up and you just see a little bit of move back up. Put your sell stop order so that if it breaks down, it takes you with it, right? So, and your stop loss can be tight, which can be the high of the bar, right? So, because if it reverses back up, it stops you out for a very small amount, right? You're not risking big for that one. So in a weekly view, still bear flag is in play, right? No bullish weekly bar is seeing any upside follow through. In fact, we had this bullish engulfing weekly bar, right, and it just couldn't do it. Weekly inside week and then a downside breakout. So now if we really need to get back above and trap bears, I would say really need to take out the previous week's high, and that would trap bulls because you know, a lot of market participants could be short based on this pattern. But if it takes the high of the previous week's out, that will force them to cover, and then we can see a breakout failure towards the upside. But again, earnings coming up, who knows what will happen. But we'll play according to how the market plays this name. But on a daily view, right, this is how it's going on. We had these somewhat, you know, promising structure for the bulls, but it just couldn't do it, and it just sold off because of the snap earnings. Still holding the lower end of this bear flag, but again, if you see a little upside move but cannot take this level out, right, just about 113 or something like that, and it then falls through, then you know, we have a nice bearish breakout to play this name. All right, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys on Monday morning. Take care.